Hello everyone, today we're going to do 8th grade and this is module 3 and session 2. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the prose, the Emperor's New Clothes, and the poetry is Machines. So this is the second session that we're going to do for these two chapters. To start off for the opening, what we're going to do is we're going to play a quick game to recap the emotions that they had learned in the last few sessions. So there'll be a sheet of paper with different sentences written on it, and the class will be asked to stand in a circle. Now, if there are too many students, you can maybe split into 2 or 3 circles as well. And now you take this paper and you pass it around. So while you're passing around, you can play some music, just like musical chair, just play some music and let this paper pass among the students. But while they're passing the paper has to be folded. The student should not be reading from the paper. So when the music stops, whoever has the paper, what he does not open it, but he just keeps it with him, goes up front and picks an emotion. So this is again a pre-work that you'll have to do before this session starts. So you're going to stick or hang or display a set of emotion cards in the class before the game starts. So these are the emotion cards that we used in the previous session as well. We had cards for happy, angry and simple emotion words, and this will be displayed in class, or you can put it on a table. And when the student when the music is stopped and the student has a paper, before opening, he or she will go up front and take any of these emotions, okay? And once they take the emotion, then they have to, now that emotion is theirs. Now what they do is, now they open the paper and they will read any one of the sentence using the emotion that they have picked. So I hope that's clear. When the music stops, the person will go up front, take one of the emotion and will read any one of the sentence in the paper with that emotion. Now remember that they cannot open the paper before they pick the emotion. They only open the paper after they have picked the emotion, and they cannot change the emotion once they picked it up. And this will go around. So once they tell the sentence, they have to tell it in full. They have to be quite expressive, and whatever the emotion that they have picked, if it's angry, they have to tell it in an angry voice and be upset about it. Or if it says happy, then they have to be happy and then they'll read the sentence. So they have to express this emotion while reading that one sentence, which again they can pick. Now once they're done, they can go and keep the emotion card back and the game will continue. The music will be played, the papers will be folded and it will be passed around for the next student. Again we'll continue. When the music stops, we'll go and pick emotion. We'll open the paper, read a sentence in that emotion. Now this will go on till most of the sentences are read and till the students are a little clear about each and every emotion. So make sure to explain what these emotions are. They've already learnt it in the previous session, but just recap what it means. Now after this opening, we'll move to the main creation. Here again it's a quick activity to write and be creative. Here what we're going to do is we're going to give the students a small a sheet of paper with a few dialogues. Now again, since classes are with large number, you can again split the class into a few groups, and then you give them a small handout with a few dialogues on it. Now this dialogues is from the chapter The Emperor's New Clothes. So they read the chapter, and what they're going to do is they're going to convert these dialogues and make it into a paragraph. And also remember that these dialogues are just the first few lines of the story. What they're going to do is they're going to elaborate on this and form the entire story, but it can be a short story. They don't have to write a lengthy one. They can just make it really short and crisp. So what you're going to do is tell them that once they all read the dialogues, ask them to read it out together, or maybe one person in every group can stand up and read it out loud. But all the students have to be sure of what's written in the sheet. Once that is done, they're going to be in a circle and they're going to write a paragraph. But how they're going to do it is, they're going to whisper to each other. So you're all sitting in a circle. The first person will start with the first line of the story, but he will not say it out loud. He will whisper it to the next person, the person sitting next to him. So if I'm going to start, I will whisper the first sentence to the person next to me, and that person will pass that sentence to the last person in the circle gets it. The last person will note it down. Then the second person will start with the second line of the paragraph. So if I am the first person in the circle, I will start, the line will go around and come to the last person who will note it down. Then the second person will start with the second line. So he knows what the previous person has said and that has already gone around. So he has that much time to think how to continue the story. So he cannot start new. So till that sentence is going on, he's got time. Tell him to think about what follows that first line. And then once that last person has written the sentence, the second person can continue the story by adding his own line. Now he will whisper it again and will come around. Like the third person will start, will come around to the last person. So the last person has to be the one who's writing all of this. So this will go till all of them get a turn and the last person writes the entire story. Then he will pass the story for them to all read. So the first person hasn't heard any of the other lines. He's only heard his own line. The second person has heard the first person's line and the second person's line. So remember that not all of them are getting to see the full story till the entire story is done. So once the story is done, they can read it out loud, and if time permits, they can even, all the groups can come together and read their stories to each other. So this will be a quick game to help them understand the story. Since this is going to help them learn the entire story, you can also give them a chance to maybe refer the text if they want, if they're not sure of the story. Maybe once or twice they could refer the textbook to know exactly what follows what. So this will give them some time to do this activity, because it might take, since everybody is going to say one sentence and it's going to go around, let them do it, give them the time to do this activity and don't rush it through. So this is going to be the main creation. Now for the closure, what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick activity or a game to teach the students suffix. So this is again from the textbook. They'll be learning different suffixes like LESS, LY, NESS. These are different suffixes that are used in words to make which will actually change the meaning of the word. For example, if there's powerful, if you add the suffix LESS, it becomes powerless. So they're going to learn suffixes for different words. Now for this activity, the students are going to be standing in a circle. Make sure there's like around 10 to 12 students in one circle. And what you're going to do is you're going to call up one volunteer who's going to stand in between all of them, in the middle of the circle, and will have the cards, the suffix cards. There are 3 suffixes, there's LESS, LY and NESS. So this person will have all these 3 suffix cards, okay? And you can give them one by one as the game game progresses. So what you do is, when you say, also you give the volunteer all these 3 cards, then there will be word cards. So all the students in the circle will get one card with any word, okay? And all these words will be different. Please make sure you give different cards, different word cards to all the students. So first, when facilitator starts the time, the first suffix is shown by the student. So the first student who's standing in the center will show his first suffix, which might be, say, LESS. So he will show LESS. Now all the students who are standing around him has to look at their word and has to see if they can make a word using that suffix. There are words like powerful, there's words like helpful, or there's words like shy. So what they do is they see the word and they will see if they can make a word using this suffix, and if they can, they will take a step forward and will say the word out loud. So all students, for example, if you're all standing in a circle, now the person who's standing in between will show LESS suffix. I had the word, say, helpful. So I see helpful and I say, okay, I can make this word helpful into helpless. So I take a step forward. So all the students who can use the suffix LESS to change their word into a meaningful word, they take a step forward. Next suffix will be LY. So all the students who cannot change will stand in their same places, okay? So now the next word will be, suffix will be LY. So all the students again with the words who can match with the suffix LY will take a step forward. Then once that is done, the third suffix will be NESS. Again all the students who can make a word using that suffix then will take a step forward. So these words can be connected to only one suffix. So make sure that they are right. Ask them if they're sure, and they can also get help from each other, but encourage them to think about it and ask them if they've ever heard the word before, and then let them take a step forward. Since this is a new activity and students might not have learned these suffixes, it would be better if the facilitators can also help them. So this will be the closure for this session, session 2, and with this we will end the session. Thank you.